exercise. If anything, you're doing yourself a disservice if you don't exercise during pregnancy. It's actually considered a risk factor to not exercise. So like I said, I'm the mother of two, and I'm the owner and operator of Core Expectations. We specialize in-home personal training for pregnant women and new mothers in Toronto, as well as nutrition, consulting, chiropractic, and massage therapy. And I'm over at booth 402. So if you have any questions after the demonstration, please feel free to come by. Like I said, I'm the mother of two, and I had two very different pregnancies, but looking back, I don't think I would have survived without exercising during pregnancy. Not only did it help me I don't think I really even had any back pain if I can think about it, but varicose veins, I think I had one Charlie horse during both pregnancies. Plus I was able to actually manage my weight gain. Okay, but research also shows us that exercise during pregnancy helps to avoid a lot of other conditions, such as gestational diabetes, high blood pressure, toxemia, and that's just a few, okay? And actual babies of exercising mothers, they tolerate the stresses of labor and delivery better because they're able to adapt to the physiological changes that happen during pregnancy when they're in utero. So when labor and delivery occurs, it's not such a shock to them. They're actually able to handle that stress a lot better than a non-exercising mother. So those are just a few good reasons to exercise, okay? And when I say exercise, I don't mean now it's time to really pump iron and you're going crazy. Regular physical activity, at least 3 to 5 times a week, and make it consistent. And I'm telling you, if you've had 2 pregnancies and you didn't exercise in one and you exercise in the second, you will see the huge benefits. So I'm just going to touch on a few guidelines, okay? There are guidelines from the Canadian Society of Exercise Physiology and the American College of Obstetricians and Gynecologists. If you go on my website at www.coreexpectations.com and you look under links, you will get a list of all the guidelines. But I'm just going to go over some basic rules of when you're exercising during pregnancy. For example, now is not the time to train for a marathon. And some people might laugh, but there are some very hardcore fitness enthusiasts that think that now that they're pregnant, it's a competition, and it's not, okay? We're no longer allowed to exercise to exhaustion, all right? Your goal when you're exercising during pregnancy is to maintain what you've got, okay? You want to be able to carry that baby without pain. You want to have the energy and the endurance to be able to push out that baby during labor and delivery. So that's basically your goal. Okay, so we're not asking you to do anything too extreme. And as well, there's trimester guidelines. For example, if you've never exercised before, it's actually considered not a good idea to start exercising in your first trimester. And again, that's for non-exercisers. So the best thing to do during that first trimester is walk. Walking, don't ever discount walking. It's great exercise. Now I don't mean walking the dog, I mean walking. Okay? And again, that needs to be consistent. But if you're already an avid exerciser and you become pregnant, don't stop exercising. Okay? Again, you're doing yourself a disservice. Continue doing what your body is already used to doing. Okay? Because your body is going to love you for it. You're going to have a much more beautiful pregnancy, believe me, than if you stopped exercising. Alright? But again, all these things, you want to really get clearance from your doctor as soon as you find out you're pregnant, because you never know. It's just always a safety factor. And I make sure that all the women that I work with, they always get clearance from their doctor before we start to exercise. Okay, now having said that, I've got a beautiful demonstrator right here, Michelle, who's going to come and do some exercises. Now, she doesn't look very pregnant, but that's because right now she's experiencing that beautiful first trimester that we all know and love. Okay, she wasn't feeling that great this morning, so God bless her that she's here. Okay, she got out of bed and she came all the way down here. So what we're going to start off with is doing a stationary lunge. Now this rule, and sorry, just to touch back on the exercises, we're going to do more of a strength training routine. You want to do cardiovascular exercise as well. That's really important for endurance, like I said, during labor and delivery. But we're going to focus more on strength training right now. Whenever you are exercising, regardless of whether you're pregnant or not, and if you are doing a full body workout, you want to start from the bottom up. You want to work your largest muscles first, just because they require the most energy. Okay, so just think of working your legs, your chest, your back, your arms, your shoulders. Incorporate some abdominals in between there, and then you're good to go. Okay, so first Michelle's going to come over to the chair for me, and she's going to stand right here for me. And she's just using the chair for balance. And I just want to give you an idea of what we would do in an in-home environment. You need little or no equipment, really. And body weight exercises are excellent. And she's going to do a lunge, which is a very much hated exercise. They're right up there with squats. And the reason being is they're very functional, they work, and they're very effective, but they're hard. Okay? So what she's going to do is take a step forward, and then an exaggerated step backwards. And she wants to keep on her toes, because that'll just support her Achilles tendon. And what she's going to do is she's going to lead with her back leg. Her chest is out, she's nice and tall, okay? Because now, as soon as she's pregnant, what do we want to do? We want to practice that good pregnancy posture. If you've never had good posture before, now is the time to practice good posture, okay? Because your posture is totally going to go if we don't. All right, so now she's going to bend that back leg, and she's going to stop when her legs are about 90 degrees, and then push off with the front leg. Okay, so that's very simple. But now she's worked her quads, her hamstrings, and her glutes. So it's not even a twofer, it's a threefer. Okay, and all she's doing is one exercise. So basically your guidelines when you're exercising during pregnancy, if you remember I said we don't want to work ourselves to exhaustion anymore, 8 to 12 repetitions and 1 to 3 sets. And that really, the reason why it's so broad is because it really depends on what your fitness level is before going into pregnancy. Okay.